Hello. In the midst of our hectic lives these days, all of us need to seek and cultivate calm. Several years ago, I realized what a nuisance television has become in our lives and how keeping TV on in the background triggers a negative, numbing, and often demoralizing effect. Thus, I made a decision: no more cable or satellite TV except for watching the sports I love. Other than sports, I watch no TV for years now. My news comes from internet sites where I can choose what I read or watch, and then the internet began gaining unwanted control over my daily routine. I had granted it permission to entangle me at most times and in most places. In fact, I was always looking for ways to get sucked deeper into the world of the internet. If I wasn't at my computer, I was fiddling with my phone or downloading a new app. The first thing I did when I opened my eyes was grab my phone, which sat quietly on the side table next to my bed, in utter disregard to various theories on why you shouldn't keep your cell phone next to you while you sleep. It wasn't my fault. It was dopamine. It was addiction, with the drug of choice being the web. Again, I decided to apply the brakes by learning to say no. Regardless of whether your job, lifestyle, or education has anything to do with the internet, if you find yourself spending more time with your gadgets than with your loved ones, you need to find a way to get that addiction under control. You need to put your internet knowledge to work for you. The internet, no doubt, has reshaped our life, making it easier for us to fit together all its bits instead of waiting them to happen in different places. Now you can go shopping at 4 a.m. or chat face to face with a friend on the other side of the globe with less effort than knocking on your neighbor's door. Of course, the internet is fundamental. Life without the internet can't be complete. It's like saying we could do without the printing press, the written word, or recorded sound. As a tool, the internet is a profound enabler, but it's just a tool. Don't take it as the end when it's really just a means. We've all seen people addicted to their phones because they love to talk, but the internet's spell is more ubiquitous and encompassing. The internet stands as highest point yet of a huge journey of human literacy. The ultimate mashup of printing press, telephony, and computing that took us hundreds of years to achieve. But the internet can also steal away many hours of your day, and by the time you break its spell, you could discover that much of what you once loved is no longer there. So it all comes down to whether you are in control of how much you are using it. Our world has verily become a village. Everything from the minute details of celebrities' private life to the insurgencies in the Sahel in Africa can be found almost instantly on the internet. In my childhood, in a small town, our family was the signature of the neighborhood. Not because we were any different, but simply because we were the first to install a device called telephone that would receive calls and allow emergency calls to be made for the households in the neighborhood. As a child, I was weary of this constant encroachment on our privacy and missed the days when we got along just fine without a telephone. And now, when my smartphone loses signal or the internet connection malfunctions, I start to get a heart attack. In civilized surroundings, I only like the smell of air that reeks of Wi-Fi, laden with all the information in the world at my fingertips when I need it. How did I get from there to here? I've only the vaguest idea. It all happened so fast and it's still happening. And in our sophisticated modern world, an exile from the internet is considered a tragedy to bear. Restrictions associated with the COVID-19 have further deepened internet's hold. One can sit at home all day and do business as usual, or gather news of a world in crisis, hotly debating matters from Mali to Mongolia that my ancestors would have been contented to die without knowing anything about. Perhaps the internet allows us to know much more than about fellow human beings than is practical. Perhaps the internet seeds with a lot more prejudice, bigotry, adulation, anger, stress, pain, and violence than is wise for us to know, unless we are summoned to handle it. Unless you consciously control all the bits of life for what they mean, the internet can fill in for almost all of it. Awareness of our digital consumption is an important aspect of our mental health and overall well-being. Technology addictions can lead to increased stress level, shorter attention spans, and poor sleep. Research is being conducted into the long-term effects of dopamine on the human brain in the age of Twitter, Facebook, and email. So the question is, how do you better manage the internet? The most important thing to watch out for while using internet is time management. The internet is the most imperceptible thief of our time in today's world. We need to establish the skills to resist it. So here are 9 tips for you to do it. Number 1, to start with, spending time online must be a choice rather than a default setting. From personal experience, I can tell you that the time we waste unnecessarily on the internet is important not just for us. Instead, it's important for a number of other people in our life. Any use of time that makes us unproductive and has no result to show is a waste of time. With internet time management, you can make yourself more focused on the important aspects of life. Number 2, let the purpose define whether or not the time you spend on the internet is useful. The time spent must be proportionate to the purpose, from serious work-related use to minor online shopping to social networking. Number 3, try and be mindful of how much time the task you are using the internet for needs. Otherwise, there is no end to surfing and researching. Look, reading the coverage of the same news from 50 different sources doesn't make you better informed, does it? Or, for example, online gaming can be a huge waste of time. Number 4, schedule as many offline activities as possible to minimize the internet's interference in your life. The internet is an effective way of keeping in touch with friends and family, but that's where it should stop, keeping in touch. It's not a substitute for real socializing. Number 5, avoid wasting your time looking at the details of other people's lives unfolding. Allocate time for activities like checking emails, scouring online shopping sites, or following friends and family on Facebook. Once the time limit you set is reached, move on to more productive work, to real life. Number 6, you can also use time management software like Toggle and others to track and measure your productive and wasted time spent on the internet. 7, you can switch off your push notifications and even switch off your internet connection. Mac and Windows users can use an app like Freedom to switch off their internet connection for up to several hours at a time. Those who need the internet for work can switch off notifications that tend to distract them. 8, you can also use tools to make sure that you stay focused on the task at hand. Mac users can use mission control to separate work and pleasure, and Windows users can employ a program like Desktop to achieve the same effect. Number 9, set time to periodically check your social media feeds on the phone, let's say every 2, 3, or 4 hours. Don't yield to temptation in between. When working on computer, commit yourself to focusing over several hours without doing any Facebook or email. Complete the task at hand and then reward yourself with a set amount of time on social media. So, how do you productively manage your time on the internet? Share your insights with others in the comment section below. And yes, Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and to like the channel. Be well. See you next time. Thank you.